So even though this 250 championship isn't over, yes, Jett Lawrence does have a 20-point lead, so it's probably his to take. Well, it is his to take, or his to lose, however you want to say it. But after the Oakland Supercross, of course, half the questions he gets are already about when's he going to get on the 450, what's he doing on the 450, and so forth. And apparently he does plan. He did say in the interview, which you'll be seeing in a second, that he is going to be not racing, but training on the 450, especially doing supercross testing because he's already in supercross mode right now. So it makes sense to try some of these supercross settings because after this 250 supercross West Coast, he's going to be running full 450 for the outdoors and the SMX playoffs. So it makes sense. Why not get on the bike now, get some training in while you're already kind of in that mindset of hard suspension and big jumps, and just figure it out now. And then once 450 rolls around, or once this series is over for him, you can start testing for that. But you'll be able to see that part of the interview here.
Do you take it a little bit easier? What's the weeks look like for you?
So next week I start on the 450. I'm doing some actual supercross testing, kind of getting ready for do a little bit of supercross testing when I have my supercross legs under me, and mainly for that super motocross at the end of the year, just to kind of get a rough setting, because I still, I think I've said it multiple times, no one really knows what the super motocross layout is exactly going to be and how it's going to be built. We don't know if it's going to be more supercross or kind of stadium cross. So we're going to get do testing in a week, and then maybe another couple of weeks on either on supercross or maybe a bit of outdoors. So we're not 100% sure yet, but I know mainly on 450 for supercross, getting that done, and then obviously just get ready for I think Seattle, RJ said, I think is our first one back. So then obviously a week or two before we'll get back on the 250 for that.
So 100%.
And of course, following that question, because yes, he's going to be testing on it, so he should have some practice. The next question obviously rolls into, will he be racing any East Coast rounds on the 450? Being that the West Coast will be over, or sort of over, however you want to say it, and he could, go race some 450 rounds, but it doesn't really make much sense in general because it's not like he's going to be in the championship for it. It's just risk that going on to, in the middle of a championship, being possibly slower or right up in contention with some of the top guys that are already in the championship. They're not going to race him easy. So there's no real reason for him to try it out, get injured, miss out on motocross, and then just be screwed up for a while. So it's a smart answer or smart idea for him to just say, nope, we're going to be, 450 testing, then we'll be back to 250, and then once motocross rolls around, I'll be doing that full time, and that will be the future. So in the comments below, you tell me though, how well do you think he's going to adjust to the 450? Obviously, it's the same kind of size, but just a lot more power. How well do you think he's going to do in pro motocross, since he's going to be moving straight up into it? Obviously, he's still young. There is a lot of time for him to grow and become more acclimated to the bike. But you tell me, continue watching if you want to see the rest of that interview. And with that, I will see y'all later. Peace.
Chance we don't see you race a 450 on the East Coast? Not even if it goes well this week?
No, I think it's a smarter decision. I mean, I know you guys would probably love it, but it's just kind of the risk factor in case, if we have any run-ins with anyone where I could either break a femur from someone that's not really liking me and that's kind of T-boning me, or just any silly thing that could go wrong, of tweaking a knee, over jumping a quad that I thought was a lot bigger, or stuff like that. There's anything could really happen on a 450, and if I do that on that and then end up losing a title because of that, I think I would look like I'd have egg on my face. So it's just a more all-round smart decision not to do any race on the 450 yet, because once we get to 450, then we will stay up there.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.